So generally around here in this world, we expect everything to be complicated. The most simplest of problems, somehow in our minds, we just anticipate a very complex solution to it. It's not our fault, of course. Around here, everything is hard, so every solution just has to be hard. My name is Lauli Bitoye, and on Pre 516 today we'll be talking about simplicity. And you know the interesting thing, even for the best news that we have in our world, which is the good news of Jesus Christ, the fact that it is so simple is the exact reason why it is so hard, so difficult for the average mind to comprehend. Let's move away from the Gospels. Let's come to mathematical equations. I remember back on campus and till today, sorry to anyone who may not agree or who may feel ill, I still cannot solve the simple or the simplest integral equation. Why? It just seems so complicated. And amazingly or weirdly, give me any differential equation I can handle. But integration, even though it's the reverse of differentiation, still seems so impossible. Now, our minds work in such an interesting way that however we have conditioned it's how it processes information. So your mind is like a factory. The way you set it up, the assembly line that you put into it is what it's going to use to process whatever information you give to it. Now, consider while we were kids, our minds were the best factory you can imagine. Why? We believe simply. We take things as simple as they come. We do not complicate it. Someone tells you this bird is a camel, you believe it's a camel. Of course, yeah, some of us had the curious minds back then and would question everything that we were told. But the truth is, we accept things as simple as they come. It doesn't always have to be so complicated. It doesn't always have to be so bogus. We just believed. We believed we could fly. That's why we tie the capes on our neck each time we watch Superman on TV. We believe we can fight karate, so we pick up sticks and play swordsmanship. Everything was possible. Nothing seemed impossible. We could dare anything. I remember jumping from a flight of like 10 stairs because I just felt I could be Superman. Anyway, I broke my arm and that lasted for about 4 months. But the mind was phenomenal. I believed anything. I believed in the impossibilities. I would read comics and I would feel like I was in them. I would watch or read. Oh, my best book back when I was a kid was the Atlas. It had all those pictures of space, stars, planets, and I would imagine myself just being in space and just looking at the grand wonder of creation and all of the cosmic universe. As kids, our minds could conceive anything. We had the brightest ideas as kids. They may seem so big, they may seem so impossible, but that was the beauty of it. Our minds conceived it, we wanted it, we yearned for it, it kept us dreaming more. But let's look at it right now. We're adults, we've grown up, and we lost that magic. We lost that ability to believe anything. Our minds question the simplest of information. We try to process and analyze and just try to add a little more layer, an extra layer of reason to the simplest of concepts. Someone is offering you free lunch, and then as a lady you already consider, okay, I think you want some ass, or this guy is trying to ask me out. Really? Every single one offering you a hand is not looking for something. They're not trying to take advantage of you. Yeah, there are some bad people out there, but it doesn't mean everyone you come across is like that. You're a guy and someone is offering you a new deal, an offer, and it's seeming like the person doesn't want anything in return, but your mind simply just wants to create a mirage of, watch out, don't trust that guy, it's too good to be true. Yeah, indeed, we should be cautious. But then we should not allow being cautious take away the magic that our minds create in the simplest of things. The best things, the best ideas we've ever conceived came from when our minds had no biasness, when our minds were not contaminated with hate, with distrust, with hatred. Simplicity, it's the best thing we could actually use to amplify our creativity. The most creative of things you will see in the world came from the simplest of concepts. It doesn't always have to be complicated. It doesn't always have to look so big. It doesn't always have to be so gigantic. Come on. If only we would embrace ourselves and know we are simple as the next concept that enters our minds. So you're a business person, you're an entrepreneur, you're a career person, and you have an idea you'd love to pitch to your boss. You have an idea that would actually, that you think is going to be the next big break in your business. But somehow, that idea never sees limelight because you would not stop overthinking it. You know, I know I'm a big risk taker, and there are times when you need to add a little caution. But the best times when I feel free are the times when I just jump off the cliff, jump off at the next big idea that comes to me. The moment you start thinking, how much is it going to cost me? What's it going to take? How long am I going to continue at this before I make my first profit? How many people do I have to pay? You're already killing the idea even before it starts. Simplicity is, I would explain it in a way that, imagine a tree. It's so big. It produces so much fruit. So now your idea, what you conceive in your mind, is just a seed. Now you're trying to plant that seed today. But your expectation is already the tree. Yeah, we know you want a tree. We know you want a bountiful harvest. But you got to start from a seed. So imagine it like this. The next big idea you have, you don't have enough resources to actually make it happen as big as you conceive it in your mind. No problem. You don't have enough hands to execute the project. No problem. You don't have enough funds to actually get it to that large scale they expected. Not a problem. The next step is to start that idea in the simplest possible way. You want a tree, start with a seed. You want to get to the top of the building, start with the first step. You want to build a skyscraper, start with the foundation. But the moment you start thinking, the moment you start considering the view from the top of the building, you begin to see the problems as much as you see the success. And somehow, because the reality is still so overwhelming, it doesn't look like what's in our minds. The reality snuffs out the possibility of our ideas. For creatives, we know that now, of course, simplicity is the end of the day. Less is more. The more simple it is, the more beautiful we look at it. So my encouragement, simple. Declutter your mind. Remove the mirage. Remove the layers of security and walls that you built up just to analyze and evaluate every single idea, every single concept that pops into your head. Take a leap of faith today. No wonder it is said that unless you be as little children, doesn't mean you should be childish. It only means that your mind should be able to believe as simple as it is. If only you will be as little children. So if you remember your childhood, if you remember who you were as a child, maybe you may want to visit it again. While being an adult, you may want to turn your mind all over again and start your childhood all over again. You can't turn back the years of your body, but you can definitely recreate your mind from being a child all over again. My name is Lauli Vitoye, and this has been K516. Have a wonderful time ahead.